Hello everyone, I'm Xiaogang. So this series of videos mainly documents our new journey of slacking off. Because recently AI has emerged, at the same time, the official version 5.8 of Unreal Engine has been released. Then our project is using UE5 5.8. Then we can use MCP to let AI directly complete a lot of such work. Then at the same time, this will lead to a question, because AI will reshape our entire current workflow and working methods. Then you need to learn the new way AI works. For example, dialogue models, scale MCP, hairless loop engine, right? Then the concept I mentioned. It isn't perfected all at once. It takes half a year or a year. Another new concept emerges, so this will lead to a problem. You have been continuously learning the AI workflow, but you can't produce a complete such product. This is the main reason why I've been slacking off recently, because it somewhat damaged my enthusiasm for learning and work. Of course, this is actually also an excuse and reason. Then you can see, this is a piece of work we are currently working on. This is our first test map, because we previously tested with. They were actually all using a very simple scene. For example, like this scene, then this is the scene we used for testing previously. Then we hope to enter into the demo phase now. We have a complete scene for such a demonstration. So we decided to set up a military base. So this military base, it is the size of a 300 meter by 300 meter area. It's not very large nor very small, right? Then it is divided into several areas. For example, the storage area. And then there's the residential area. Then there are some parking lots here. We plan to place a design target range here. Then here is a helicopter parking pump. Then comes the fighter jet takeoff runway. Then here is the fuel area, which is equivalent to oil tanks. We plan to do it this way. Then here is the area we have reserved. Plan to place a building for a laboratory here. Then you can conduct some in-depth scenario exploration. For example, a region with high risk value and high value. Then we plan to do it like this. Then we are currently, this area is where I manually placed each model one by one, dragged out and placed. Then I found that when I was placing this model, I'm a bit dizzy with 3D. I didn't get dizzy right from the start. But I don't usually get motion sickness from playing 3D games. For example, when I played Delta Force or Crescent Bay, then maybe it's because the editor's operations are a bit complicated. It goes up and down intermittently. Sometimes it turns left, sometimes right, which causes me to get a bit motion sickness. I get a bit flabbergasted. Okay, good. So at this point, we'll manually edit these scenes. Later on, we might adopt such a way, AI or PCG approach. And we've heard about this UE116. For example, maybe by the end of next year, there might be a preview version released, perhaps our blueprint. There won't be any blueprints anymore. Then I personally don't like blueprints, but I think this way, the blueprint is directly gone. It feels a bit too much, because it isn't really. This leads to me feeling it's not quite right. Because of this entire UE15 era, their blueprint system is still relatively mature. It's also quite convenient to use. Although I personally don't like the blueprint kit. Good, okay. So for this scene, you can see, in fact, here, we have a Baihe observation. So this Baihe observation, it was actually done through MCP. Then, actually, while I was doing this process, it somewhat stirred up my memories of civil engineering. Everyone knows that Xiaogang is the birth of this civil engineering. Still a graduate student. Okay, so how do we do this White River? Then actually, during the official demonstration, you can find out that the official actually, it can directly control such a PCG through AI. Then go on to complete such a city. Arrangement of such a case study. But we can't do such awesome stuff yet. We are simply exploring. Let AI generate some Baihe scenes. It's somewhat similar to our CAD, our PKPM. So how did I do it? First, you'll need a set of such AI tools. We'll leave these as is. With the help of AI tools, we let AI discuss it. We will discuss our level design. First of all, we will have some concept design drawings. At first, we let AI draw the pictures. The drawings are not very good. So after continuous iteration, we use AI to handle each area. how big or small each area is, how many floors it has, then distribute some value containers, then complete the deployment of some monsters, then draw this floor plan. Then you can see here is a roadmap, the route map for our receiving and striking side, right? Then a layout of time and space. Then this place is a layout of an indoor scene. Do you see that this place is somewhat similar to this CAD? Of course, I think AI, if you let it do this directly, the effect is quite poor, but our construction industry is relatively mature. So we just test this place here. Then after this test, we let it go through MCP. We can then call this continuation engine, then let it directly construct this BSP component for it. Then you can see in our outline, it actually assists in generating all the PSP, are all generated by AI. Here, I'll briefly share this process, because it's just a simple by heap process. Then note that we didn't directly replace this MCP, because the official MCP, it's a bit hard to use, because our processes, actually, we're doing it ourselves. We'll have a YM file here, then via this YM file, then this YEM and this SVG are the images you just saw, then they are I-generated. We think the images are satisfactory. After being satisfied, we will have it generate such a JSON, then directly pass this JSON to the scene. Then we'll take a look at, then in this place you can see, after seeing such a JSON, so these cubes will use based on the position and size dimensions described in this JSON. So in this place, generate its position and its size dimensions. So corresponding to this, the data you generated. For example, like here, there would be a road. You can see in live design. We can search for it. Then over here, for example, there are some buildings. This is the first floor of building A. This is building A. It's actually what we're going to do later, such a laboratory building. So you can see that this place has some names, but these names correspond to its such a brush type, its position and its size. So when you correspond it, you can see that it is in this place, corresponding to the first floor wall of building A. It's actually the same as our civil engineering. Walls, beams, slabs, and columns are all the same thing. Okay, so this video will share up to here. Then we've been slacking off too much recently.